the heart of Icewindale, where night reigns eternal and shadow dance with an icy glee, our gaze fall upon the Ten Towns. There, amidst the bitter cold of a land gripped by frost, the resilient soul of the Ten Town clings to their life, huddling together against the biting chill. Seeking solace in each other's warmth, their hope are pinned on the promise of another day in what was once their soothing home. Looming over their fragile existence is Oriel, the eternal winter. With their high-sea talent firmly embedded in her new domain, she has plunged the realm into a perpetual darkness, transforming a once magnificent tapestry of star into a never-ending nightmare. Over the town of Lonelywood, we set our eyes upon a home, one that is firm, certainly quite large, a ranch to be more specific, hosting a few hosts of axed beard, not axe beard, axe-beaked bird. Great volatile, yes. Already fumbling like a cunt. With a gathering of many, what's it called again, Michael? Their beard, axe beard,
Axe Peak.
axe beak. That's the word. With a few axe beak within the range, we can see a few lit candles shining from the different windows of this home. It's silent, and the wind is ever crashing upon its wall and the door, cackling and trying to pierce from inside, trying to grip at your skin. But fortunately for you, it cannot reach, for fire protects you. And within your hand, you hold a tiny ember, flame, dancing, ready to ignite the fireplace that is in front of you. Michael, could you please describe your character, your name, as well as your occupation?
All right. As posted in character art, we have a hobgoblin at about 5'11", roundabout, I'd say. Um, Long gray hair, heading down. Looks to be in his late 40s, early 50s. Wearing, depending on the day, long button-up flannel and rancher's vest, which is probably taken off by now. Blue eyes and calloused hands. Probably a few scars here and there, but nothing as if he's been in sort of battle. More of hard work over his life. And yeah, I think that's about it.
And did you mention your occupation?
I have not. He runs this ranch for Axe Peaks and rents them out to the local townspeople for travel throughout the snow to pull sleds or cargo.
Very well. You have this flame within your hand, kneeling in front of the fireplace ready to ignite for the night. What do you do?
Go ahead and stare at it one moment longer, and then just, as if I'm shaking dust off, cast it off into the fireplace and let it ignite before taking the jacket off and setting it down before reclining back in whatever lounge chair he's got right there and let whatever snow melt off his boots next to the fire.
Very well. You spend quite a hard journey today. You've lost some of the youngling of your flock from the harsh winter still beating and at your ranch. Food is being scarce, and it's overall not quite a fine season, just like it has for the last 2 years. You find yourself in your home, alone. It's about time to be dinner. You know that today is the day where you need to sacrifice a part of your food, as it is part of the ritual of Lonelywood. Something that all of the 10 town are doing. Although their sacrifice may vary, Lonelywood has preferred to place itself to cut away its reserve of food, giving it to Oriel, so that her winter may not be as challenging or cruel as it may.
All right. That could be something he's already prepared and can go pull out of furnace or pantry. So we walk over to the kitchen and start preparing it, getting everything ready.
Upon watching the food that you've carefully baked, that you've carefully cooked, you have your knife in hand and you softly remember what happened the last time you refused to sacrifice your food. It haunts you still today, and is one of the many reasons why you're alone in this home.
Goes to prepare to cut it at the counter. Gets half a slice in before he just kind of stops a minute. Thinks, looks around in his home, fire, an extra empty chair. Gonna check out his window real quick, as if he felt he was being watched. And then he's going to take the knife out of it, slightly aggressively toss it away onto the counter, and take a bit of the food over to the fire and eat it himself.
Very well. You eat away your food. It's not too long after that you hear a slight knock on your door. Before it opening, letting the wind enter for a brief moment before it is shut close back. Inside enter an individual that you are somewhat familiar with since the last few days. It's someone that the speaker of the town has requested that you take in. Someone that, you decided to also help. It has been of little help for you not being so lonely, too, perhaps. And so Ren would like for you to do the same. Your character's name, the description, as well as their occupation.
Uh, Pat Milium, or Pat Gonzalez. Uh, she's human, but she stands around a solid 5'8", 5'9". She's she's pretty buff, a little bulky. Um, at about 250 pounds. Right now she's covered in messy furs, kind of brushing it off a little bit, trying to keep that door shut with her foot. Um, as she takes off these heavy furs, and under some faded paint on armor, she's very tan, and she's got what's the word? Vitiligo, I believe. Just patches of skin that are pale white.
Vitiligo.
Yeah, sorry. Some bright eyes looking around, and when they land on her, companion, she very obviously smiles. She's got some dark brown hair coming over here, kind of shaking snow out of it, and a purple bandana on the back of their head that keeps the wall of hair that she has kind of neat, and beads in her hair that kind of just swing as she walks in. Mostly does odd jobs around town. Kind of mostly logging, splitting wood and such, whatever she can get her hands on to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of getting some clumps of snow off of her fur and cracking neck, cracking arms, cracking back. Been a long day.
Very well. And so you find yourself in the home of your friend, let's say. Or not friend, but of Darian. He's currently seen to have finished his meal, and it would be also time for you to eat. You know of the same custom that Lonelywood has been practicing for the last 2 years. That wish they sacrifice their meal in order to appease the anger of Oriel. It doesn't necessarily need to be half of your portion. It can be simply that you eat only enough for the day. Barely. But regardless, sacrificing a part is quite crucial, as it has been known that many consequences can be brought upon those who refuse to do so.
With whatever food that she does get, she'll give half, if not a little bit more, for sacrificing. Just kind of.
Very well. So you two are together within this home. It is currently obviously night, as it has ever been for a few years. But if we're thinking about a day and night, it is about, I want to say, 5 p.m.
He'll look over at her and her half of bread. Look back at his food in the fire. Kind of nod.
You're settling into customs well enough, I see.
Well, I try. How was your day?
Fair enough, we lost a few of them. A few of the young ones again. But, give it a week or two and should be able to fill their spot. Either through it's from that couple I got in the back, or I'll go out and buy from a supplier passing through town.
Oh, you know, if you want to keep them out of the cold, I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing the room that you gave me with a couple little ones to keep them out of the cold.
You want to let the axe beaks in your room?
I mean, I'll clean up their mess. I mean, if it keeps them out of the cold and keeps you from having to put in more work, then I'm down. I get along well with them. I like
How
them.
big are the younglings? They're like, they're still pretty. They're still pretty.
Well, an axe beak is a large creature, get it correctly. So it can range about, I believe, it's about, adult-wise, it's about 9-ish feet, almost. Can range from 8 to about 10 in general as an adult. As a youngling, I would say that if they're freshly hatched, they're probably more around a foot, about a foot, but they quickly grow into the range of like 2, 3, and then regulate more at
That's probably
4-ish. tall-ish.
They're probably 3 to 4 feet tall right now.
Yeah, would make sense. Yeah. They grow quite quickly. Like they reach their peak of youngling, if you wish. Like their main their maintain height of 4 feet for a long while before they reach teenage year and so forth. But overall, they grow all similar to how horse do.
Mm.
So they're quite quick.
I wouldn't say that we. No. No, we're not letting the horse. We're not letting the axe be into the room.
Oh.
They were just found in the stables.
Okay. Well, the offer still stands. And she'll plop down and get armor off and set to the side for a second. Just start strumming the lute.
And exactly how your day go that you're still wearing all that. Pointing at the armor.
Well, nothing really happened. I mean, I got some wood chopping done. Got a little bit of coin for it, but I mean, you never know when something's gonna happen, so might as well keep it on.
Fair enough in these woods. Though I can't say envy colds. Probably is.
Well, I've got underclothes on. Let's just show like the long sleeve, dark red clothes that she's got on under it.
That works.
So it's not like cold metal against your skin, because I know that's really unpleasant. But I mean, generally being this cold is unpleasant. I'm not built for this. I'm built for the tropical climate.
And remind me what you're doing this far up here then.
Well, I'm looking for a friend's family, and plus, you know, well, seems like a lot of people here are very not happy, and I want to try to fix it. If I can make at least one person smile a day, then I will consider it a very good day.
You go for that. I wish
Well,
you
I just
luck
made you
with
smile.
points at the with the he points outside. Gonna be a little difficult with all that going on.
Well, you never know.
He
Even,
smiled
even
because I
little.
reflect him.
You never know. One little gesture a day can really make someone's day or even week. So
Fair enough.
she'll go back to strumming and maybe pop a couple dad jokes. Try to get a little grin out of him.
Gets nothing.
Aw.
I give her nothing.
She'll get something eventually.
We found our Matthew of the campaign. I see.
Don't you do that to me. Matthew's way more fucked.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But with that going on, our eyes will set their gaze upon a different home. We found an individual outside, rather tall, muscular, wielding a rather particular axe within their hand. You are preparing wood for the night, for you also need heat, like anyone here. You're a resident of this town for quite a few years. You've known many of its individuals within it. And I love the axe that you got. That's really nice. Nice. And so you hold your axe firmly, tightly, preparing to strike it or to strike wood, logs that is below you, chopping it into firewood. But before you do, could you please say your character's name, how they look, and their occupation?
Well, with my is Ox. Her name is literally Axe. But you, in terms of looks, she's about 7 feet tall. But in terms of facial features, you get nothing. You get nothing but the elk skull that she wears over her face. From what skin you do see of Ox, she is a little bit on the pale side. But she is large. She's broad. And most importantly, she is very, very tall. Her occupation, Ox, uses axes as a logger within the town and busies her day with chopping things up. And she makes short work of the log in front of her. Very, very short work. Making
takes-
sure to
Go ahead.
making sure to chop it into as fine of a kindling as she needs. Making sure that this is well enough to last throughout the nights.
It's easily done. You, with a few swing, manage to chop this log into fine pieces of wood that will easily kindle you for the rest of the night. With that said, you're free to enter your home.
The homestead that she lives in is old. It's been old, older than most people would be alive today. It's as run down as it is old, even to the most modern standards. Keeps the cold out well enough, but that's what the wood is for, with making up for anything remaining. It's a very kind of large homestead, but made to be cozy. At least back in its heyday it was. She makes her way over to the fire pit, dragging all of the kindling she had just gone on small, not a small, but a medium-sized sled, dragging them all the way to the fire pits, making sure to, very proficiently, stacking the wood to make sure to get the most efficient use out of all of its bits. But in general, the homestead, despite the fact that there is just, despite the fact that it is obviously lived in, it's very cold. Not as in weather-wise, but there's no real sense of life here. There's her, and only her. There is a well-worn rug on the ground. No chairs really to be spoken of, except for small, itty-bitty kind of remnants of what could have been furniture within this household. Possibly destroyed over time, wood-worn termites, or possibly a rage. Who knows? But there's not really much in terms of life coming much within this household.
Farewell. And much like any inhabitant of the Lonely Wood, you're about to eat. Or actually not. Tell me,
Uh,
Jane,
Go ahead.
would she eat tonight?
Ox has gotten a small amount of game she was able to hunt down in her daily need to want to get some of this frustration out. But she has decided there's no one around here tonight. She's decided she's not going to even try. She's not going to eat tonight, and throws the meat pour the sacrifice onto the pyre of where it will disintegrate to ashes.
Very well. Would there be anything you would do right now in your home, all alone, as you have always been for the last few years?
There is not much she will do. She does sit and she does tank a small bit of wood, little bit that was left over from the kindling that she was using, a little bit extra that she didn't quite need. She's going to hold her axe quite like this, or one of the hand axes that she uses, and she's going to go back to whittling and whittling a small little figure. It's shitty, but she's getting better the more and more she does this. But she's just gonna focus on that, singing a little small tune.
And from that lovely tune, our ear will shift towards the wood, deep within them, at the edge of what is to be from Lonelywood. We find ourselves within a community that live outside. Having dug a hole within the snow, in some of the cavern they found, and also upon the trees, we found a circle of druid. Distant from the folks of the Lonelywood, of the town of Lonelywood. They each hold to their occupation at the moment, passing and chatting with each other. They do not require to do the sacrifice of the night, although some of them might choose to do so, in fear of Oriel's ever-shifting mood. But as for now, we found ourselves nearby a young woman who sits next to a fire that has been freshly made by a human man. He sits next to it, removing his glove, and in front of him, is that same lady, asking her, "How was your day today?" And Megan, could you please, like everyone else, your character's name, appearance, and occupation?
Yes. This is Nerida, or Nerida, a little more American. She is a Triton, so she's blue, has some scales, kind of like webbed ears. She is thick, bluish blackish hair. There's braids going through it, some charms. She's wearing like bangles, arm bracelets, necklaces, lots of jewelry all around her body. And she has dark eyes, kind of like a yellowish reddish. And she's short. She's like 4'7", so she's very short. And for her profession, she's a kind of not a bounty hunter, but whenever there's like animals or creatures that townsfolk need to be culled, she's like a hunter. What she asked, how was her day?
Yeah.
It was cold. To be expected. You?
You could say the same. I had some delivery to do from Targos, so now I have perhaps a few letters to reach for Lonelywood.
Lonely.
Feel free to come if you wish.
I do not wish to impose.
You certainly won't.
Perhaps it would be good to go and see people Yes, I will come.
Very well. We'll leave in a few hours. I'll go ready the sled.
Okay.
And as he does, he puts back his glove, who have been drying out over the fire. And Dagon leaves to go prepare his sled and his dogs. You're
Uh,
alone.
She's just going to look at the night sky and probably take this time to do a little meditation.
Tonight, it is a natural night, as distinct from the everlasting rhyme from Uriel's, where the night is dancing with many aurora borealis. Right now, it's somewhat clear, and you can see this ever so familiar sight that has yet to have changed in the past 2 years. The same star look upon you as much as you look upon them. They say nothing to you.
She's going to probably meditate for a while and try to pass the time until it's time to leave for Lonelywood.
It takes a few minutes, perhaps 30 minutes or so, before you hear a footstep coming your way. But those are lighter. They're not the same as those of Dagon, who are more brutish when it comes to walking here. You recognize them by your teacher, the one who taught you the secret of your strength within nature. Lady Urtil is standing in front of you. Well now, you seem quite at peace tonight.
It's a rare sight to see the sky so normal.
Is that so? Well, perhaps I'm too old. I feel like I've seen it for 1,000 years. That would be because of it is the case.
Yes, well, for me, it's not so long, but I miss it.
I can understand, child.
I'm going to Lonelywood with Dogon.
Oh, is that so? On what purpose?
Some deliveries. I thought
I
it
see.
might be nice to leave and see people for a while.
Socialization is quite valuable in this time.
Yes, I've never been very good at it.
That I know. Plenty of people here tell me the same.
Oh, no. I try.
I certainly do. I certainly know. And you're making great effort. You've gathered strength faster than many of us there. You have something quite fierce in you. A strength that I'm glad you're able to harness. Especially in these dire times.
I want to make you all proud. I want to restore balance.
You see Lady Riddle, as pale as she is, being a moon elf herself. She lay her hand on your shoulder. They're very gentle, they're not too... They don't press you, they're soothing in a way. Almost motherly. I'm sure you will. And that is why I believe it is good for you to leave for the moment.
Yes. should take any opportunity to learn from others and see what they can provide.
There are plenty of opportunity that await you behind our wood. Beyond our wood.
I will do whatever you think is best.
Then I will say, follow your desire.
I do not know where they will lead.
Isn't that exciting? Do not know what tomorrow brings.
Perhaps. Perhaps a little bit frightening as well.
Well, I know that within your heart, you have plenty of courage to fight against this fear.
With your teachings, yes.
I've prepared a little something for you.
Hmm?
I've prepared a little something for you.
No, you did not need to.
Oh, but I wanted to. And
Okay.
she goes behind a small snow hill. As she brings you a small little basket. Within it are flowers that have been cultivated here. Quite rare in this time of winter, as they are summery, flowers. Something that would have grown only during the day. And within it, there's the equivalent of 5 rations made from druidic culture. Something you've been used to eat, and something that is more favorable than the food of commoners within towns. It isn't much, but I hope it will comfort you during your travel.
Thank you. It will be nice to have a bit of home.
She will raise her head, smiling to you, glad to see that you're taking well this gift. As she watches over the approach of Dagon, who seem to be ready to leave, although does not express it vividly, leaving you to say your goodbyes.
Thank you for the gift. I think it is time that we leave.
It is unfortunately so. I'm sure you will do great. If ever need be, do not forget where you come from.
Thank
And
you.
she will give you a slight gentle kiss on the forehead.
Dagon, are you ready?
I certainly am.
Let us go.
Very well. And so you see Dagon lead you to his dog sleigh. He has a few handful of. They're not necessarily dogs, they're more dog wolf, if you would say. They're not fully wolf, they're not fully dog, they're a mix of both. They're certainly more ferocious in terms of size than normal dog, but still. He's got used to it. He leads you to the sled and, without hesitation, he guides you within the woods, which will take a few hours, which is why we shall cut to our Michael, who is watching his phone.
Ralph was texting me. What did I miss?
Nothing much.
God damn it. God damn it.
I just wanted to put you on the spot,
You fucking suck.
just like Megan.
If wife doesn't get a pass, neither does mom.
Fair enough. But, following those introduction, I will go get a bottle of water because I'm thirsty. So taking a little 5 minutes right now.
Aye.
So, as I was saying before our little break, Our eyes shift once again toward the home of Darian. Darian, you are trying your best to not get disturbed by the song and jokes of Paps that is putting some life into your home. Whatever you're doing, however, it is somewhat interrupted by a large cracking noise from the outside as you hear your flocks being alarmed.
He snaps to attention real quick and holds up a finger to have Pop stop.
She stops.
He's listening for a minute and he gets up from his chair and grabs a wound up leather whip off of the fireplace, hooks it on his belt, looks over at something in a leather casing propped up about the size of a pole in a corner. Thinks like he's going for it for a minute, leaves it, and he'll walk out the door.
Do you open the door?
I do.
You immediately open it and you are blasted with a chilling wind that is beyond your understanding. It is, and has always been, the same wind. It just is so impossible to get used to it. It is clawing at your skin already. Snow is pounding on your face, and you can hardly see. You're still at your door.
He's going to pull up some cloth, probably a scarf, tighten jacket, and in the hand that's not holding the bound up whip, produce a flame, hold it out in front of him, and walk out to the storm.
You lit your flame. It doesn't do as much light as one would expect. After all, it is bouncing over all of the snowflake that is just hammering you from all direction. But you are able to find your way through your ranch as you hear the sound of your flock, alarmed, frightened, confused. As you arrive, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to find the prompted spot. I was gonna walk over to the stables.
You manage to find the stable. Over there, you find your birds that are still within their enclosure. They're not enclosure, what's the word in English? Not their cage, but like where they would rest within the night. The only issue is that you see there is quite a large hole within this structure. Your birds are frightened, having gathered at the not at the exit, but at the back of your what's the name of
A barn.
a barn? Thank you. At the back of the barn. You count them real fast. One is missing.
I look around for anything else, checking corners and a roof for anything else in it, and if there's no other creatures than my birds in here, I want to look for debris. Do I see any of those things?
Make me a perception check with advantage, since it is your barn. You know it perfectly well. You know all of its little cranny in the hooks.
That's a dirty 20. I don't know
Well,
why it rolled a total of 35. Those were two separate rolls. That's weird.
oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. I hit roll
Where
with advantage and it added the two. Yeah.
very weird, but yeah, fair enough. So you said 20, 30, 20.
Yeah, because it was 15 plus 5.
There's nothing else in this barn besides you and your birds. With that said, however, if you go for a look for debris, I would like for you to make a investigation check.
Okay.
hard to pinpoint what happened here. Wood is cracked, sundered, chips of it are there, and you seem to see footprint of your birds, but you're not sure if they're going outside or if they're entering back. It's a little bit confusing.
He's missing one right now. There's a hole. Is it about the size of the other birds?
Certainly is.
Okay.
It looks like the hole that could fit about a teenage one. So
Okay.
we're talking about, 6 feet at least.
Gonna look around for extra piece of wood, an old barn door, some furniture, something to move in front of the hole real quick, and just start snapping and whistling for the rest of the flock over into another corner and direct them away from this area. I'll rush back over to the house, walk in, grab that leather casing in the corner. As I pass Pat, keep an eye on the flock, stay near the house, and I'm going to take the leather casing off and a pole staff with 2 blades on either side for a double-bladed scimitar comes on the outside, and he just lights up, reduce flame in the other hand, and he's gonna walk off into the woods.
Very well. On your end, Paps, as you see Darian leaving the house, waiting for a bit, and then picking up a weapon of the like you've never seen before. It is elegantly made, and you're not even sure how one would wield such. What do you do?
As quickly as I can, I'm gonna throw on whatever armor and furs I can, shoes, and go outside, shut the door, and try to keep an eye on the flock, like he said, and kind of assess what else is going on. Try to keep them calm.
Would you make me an animal handling, please?
Oh, yeah, totally. 16?
Hey,
That's good. That's very good. That's more than enough. You've seen over your few days how Darian kind of handles his own flocks. You're not an expert, of course, like him, but you manage to remember how his whistle sound and how his gesture kind of, you can imitate him. So you manage to make them relax, calm them for a bit. Do you stay there? Or
Yeah. If I do, can I see that there's a hole in the thing?
certainly can. You see a hole in that you see that a few furniture crates have been placed in front of it. You can see that it is a 6-foot size hole. It's a little bit larger, but overall it's really firm and quite big.
Okay. I'll if anything's like looking like it's gonna topple over at all, she's gonna try to like keep it there and keep an eye on the flock, just make sure that they don't panic again.
The barn is rather large, making a decent amount of feet in square. It's certainly nowhere near falling. It's quite in good shape. It has been for a few years. So it's definitely nowhere near crumbling. But the wind and the chill is certainly not helping the comfort of the bird right now. They are used to cold, but the frost of the everlasting rime is something that nothing is really capable of handling naturally.
If any of them like come close at all, she'll kind of like try to pat them down, like brush off some snow, try do something to try and comfort them, get them a little warmer if she can, block the wind or something.
Make me a quick investigation check.
Ready?
Um,
11.
Note also, guys, you, much like Mia, you can use your real dice if you wish. no fright on that. But yeah, so 11, that's easy enough. Um, Darian has some sheet for animal, some covers that he keeps within the bar for harsher, colder night. So you manage to have them place on each of them without any trouble and so forth. And from there, Darian, you said you were going into the wood, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the tracks, anything I can through the snow wall before more of it falls and fills.
For tracks, I believe it is survival, correct?
Survival.
Yes. Makes survival, please.
21.
Yes. It's now plain as sight. Or that's the saying? No, that's not right. Plain as day or clear as day?
Plain as day.
Yeah.
Like something becoming obvious.
Yes, something becoming. Oh yeah, that's the one. So it becomes that, and you see tracks now. It's a long trail that is. It's mostly two trail actually. One of which you see great paw-like uh, tracks, something quite big, feline-like almost. And next to it, you see something that is dragging next to it, like something heavy that's potentially is being dragged there, and it's leading deep within the wood.
Bloodstains in the snow? Feathers?
You see a few feathers, but no blood stain.
Shit. Check something. But I believe. Yeah, he's gonna continue on. Following that path that he's spotted.
Very well. From there, we'll shift towards Axe. Similar to how you are, or to Darien, your calm is disturbed by a large ruckus of noise that is nearby your backyard. Sounds quite heavy.
Well, Axe rises to her feet and looks at her hand axe, puts that onto her belt, reaches over her shoulder, and pulls out the great big axe from her back, and makes her way over to the doorway. She listens for a noise, see if she can try to place what the noise is when she gets close to the door. But has her axe ready, and is going to reach for the door if she can try to figure out what it is.
Make me a survival check to determine what it is.
Okay. 15.
15. You understand somewhat what it is. Can't exactly pinpoint it. Because as you reach the door, the sounds occurs slightly more, the ruckus increase, and you can understand that it is whatever is behind your backyard, stuff that you've kept, crates, other logs of wood that you've cut already, that are tumbling down, and you hear what seem to be feline-esque noise.
Well, I guess it looks like I'm killing a cat. and she throws the door open and looks immediately to where she has her log storage and yells really, really loudly to try to scare off the cats or whatever it might be.
You get out. You hurl your scream, trying to frighten what may be behind your doze log. And yet you find nothing. In fact, you only see a shape running towards entering the distant wood.
Shit. Alright. Ux takes a look at the house, takes a look here at wherever it disappeared to, goes, it wasn't like I was doing anything anyway, and goes after it to go have a bit of fun trying to hunt that down.
Very well. And so, you will enter the wood. Would you please make me a survival check to see if you manage to follow those tracks?
18.
18. That's plenty enough. You manage to follow those tracks. You realize, much like Darian, that those are feline paw. This is something you might have seen before. A crag cat. Very predatorial cats. The size that are bigger than Axbeak. They typically hunt more for stuff that has already been catched. They don't like to hunt precisely, their game. They like to steal, in fact. That's why fisher around here keeps their knuckle trout, large, enormous fish. That is more local here. They take more precaution, placing it under already layers of salt and even layers of ice, just to protect them, or inside home. That way, they're not taken away. But it has been occasional that sometime they take some of one of your local rangers' Axbeak.
Looks like we're having a bit of fun.
Very well.
And she'll continue forward.
Wonderful. We'll shift our gaze a little bit more again. As through the forest, already traveling in the direction of Lonelywood, we find two individuals, a human and a tridon. How do you pronounce? Nareda?
Nerida or
Nerida?
Nerida?
Narida?
Nerida is more Spanish, but Nerida is probably how you guys would say it.
So, Narida, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nareda. Yeah. So, Nareda, you find yourself comfortable within the snow sled, the dog sled, snow sled, the dog sled, with Dagon controlling his wolves, dogs. Although for a moment, as the road seemed to have been calm and very natural, you hear and feel a certain halt from the dogs in front. They growl before they whimper almost. Could you make a perception check too?
I sure as heck can try. 15.
You recognize that these dogs are in fear, first of all. Something large is approaching. It's not long before you see it. Two crag cat, enormous feline, are traveling through the forest. One of them having a large axe beak in its mouth, in between its jaw. The bird is still alive, but they pass you. You've seen them before. This is extreme cases of growth within those animals. You see the first one, it's about 5 feet tall, but its length is perhaps double. It is snake-like almost. It is enormous. We're talking 6 to 8 feet long. And that's only the smallest one. The biggest, the one with the bird within its mouth, is strangely not white also, as naturally these cats have adapted to the terrain and have a white fur, much like many animals here. It's better to hide in the terrain, but you see the larger one, it has these panther-like dot on it. It's white but has this black marking across it. And this one is about 8-ish feet tall. It is humongous.
Do they look aggressive towards us in any way?
They were heading towards your location for a bit. You were about to cross their path, but as they approach and the dogs smell them, they yap. That's not the bark. They bark simultaneously at them, and it takes them aback. And you can clearly see that they're mostly running away, and so they shift. And only near that you see two individuals, a hobgoblin with a a two-bladed weapon that you've never seen, as well as a rather rather tall woman with an axe. Axe and Darion, you recognize one another as being neighbors, and you've seen only the shape of those cats that have been running. You haven't fully seized their size yet.
Do we spot these other trailblazers?
These what?
Do we spot the Meg's group? Do we spot those other
You do.
trailblazers?
You
Okay.
cross path and they're a little bit away, but you do see them. It's a human
Glances over
male
that
and a
way.
dragon.
Glances over that way, then glances over at Ox. Points over at her and then points at the shape of the cats right ahead.
If you don't mind helping me with this one, I'd owe you one.
I'd be happy to.
Alright.
He's gonna adjust the blade and gonna try to flank around and yeah, he's gonna left flank the cats, hoping that Ox takes the rear of the right flank.
I would not do that if I were you.
How far is she? Is this like a yell or we heard her?
It would be a decent yell.
I would not do that if I were you.
We're talking maybe 50 feet about from each other, but the wind is pounding or the sound. Well, the forest, so it is quite, noisy.
But I hear.
Yes.
Do
you
I hear? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Do the cats have a reaction to her yelling?
The cats are not there yet. They're gone. They already left.
They've already passed.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you
So-
said we saw their shapes, right?
Well, you saw their shapes before you stopped, which is what I assume.
Okay.
As you cross path with the group Megan is with.
Okay.
Oh, it's you. Suppose I'm gonna get my bird back walking over there.
One axe beak is not worth confronting those.
Unfortunately, you don't know my kind of life.
And unfortunately,
Every one of
you have
those
not
is an
seen the
ass.
size of them.
Explain.
They're the biggest I've ever seen. Those crag cats.
Those white furry things, they're all over the area. They're not too bad.
I think I know my animals. They are massive. Dagon, back me up here.
She is right. If I were you, I'd be very cautious about handling those beasts. You may be from the city, and I understand that your pride resides within those animals, but one bird might not be worth this time.
You should go home.
Chances may be so, but if these things are in the area, there's nothing stopping them coming back from the rest of my flock. So, this is a scare off or neutralize game. Although I'll take your word of caution. Thank you. And
I'm
he'll,
still willing to help if you so need it.
well, I won't hold it against you if we ends up needing to back off and you can go home after that, but like I said, I gotta at least make sure the message gets across these things. So, he's gonna give a look at these strangers. Be careful of yourselves on the trail. And continue down the track.
Ox does a little half sarcastic kind of bow in a way. Have a wonderful day. Continues forward.
Nerida's gonna look at Dagon and be like, what should we do? They're going to get themselves killed.
That I know.
Should we help them?
Perhaps we could help.
Alright.
It would also help you assimilate more with these these town folks.
I do not know that I want to assimilate with
Sorry,
them.
assimilate is not the same word.
No, but it works. Yeah, it works.
Okay.
They are very foolhardy going after this. Perhaps we help and then go our separate ways.
That is a good idea. Let's hurry then.
Okay.
And with a hasteful shift, he managed to control his dogs and go into the deeper woods. So you do move quickly, but not as fast as you were on foot. There is quite a bit of terrain, and it's quick before you get somewhat stuck, forcing you to get on foot. Dagon looks at you. You go ahead. I'll keep a watch on the dogs.
Okay. Be careful.
You too.
And she's gonna go catch up to them.
Very well. Pap. Being currently attacked
Yes.
by dire
What about the
wolves.
axe beaks?
Ferocious beasts.
Pap's just wrestling with the fucking birds.
Sorry, go ahead, I'm listening.
The ferocious beasts are winning.
A dire
Yes,
wolf
sorry.
has seized the opportunity to attack a young innocent human.
Sorry, I'm listening. Quit! Quit your mess.
I'm being screamed at by my own crab cat. I don't know if you could hear her.
Be sweet. Be sweet. Good boy. Be sweet. I know. Be sweet. Thank you. Good boy. Sorry, I'm listening.
Good. All good. Yes, so having taken care of the cats, no, fuck. Having taken care of calming the birds, would you stay there, or would you start to follow more to where Darian would be?
I. No, she's gonna do what he asked and stay with the flock.
Good.
just
good.
gonna do that.
Absolutely,
Loki-
yeah. In that case, you will remain there for quite a bit, as our three intrepid heroes, no, our three individual are currently chasing down against those crab cats. You can hear the scream of a bird lamenting being taken away from its family, its flocks. It's soon enough that you definitely do not manage to catch on them because they are quite fast. They know this terrain more than any of you would. They're adapted to it. But it's soon enough that you manage to reach the end of the forest, leaving you into plains, the wind cracking at your face. It's blowing hard, and I would like each of you to make a survival check to see if you can still see those Oh, look at him!
You can go on. I just had to hold him for a minute.
That's good.
You say survival.
Yeah, survival, please.
It's got a 21.
Oh!
Give
Oh,
Sammy
man.
the dice.
It's gonna be 14.
Oh, you didn't give your child the dice? Man.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Well, that's plenty enough.
Oh, wait,
He
you.
rolled
22.
low because he didn't let the child roll the dice.
Boo!
I vote that he can do a re-roll as long as he lets the little one roll the dice.
We'll save that for next time. For
Okay.
it's 14 is enough. I should. I have to backtrack that later on, but for now, no. It is a snowstorm, and perception check. No, it's not perception check, so no, that's fine. Just for note, when it is a snowstorm within Icewindale, some of the rules are as follow. If you find yourself in a snowstorm and concentrating on a spell, at each turn of your turn, even if you didn't take damage, you make a concentration check. Your sight is limited to 30 feet, regardless of how far you have it, even if it's dark vision or light. If you don't have dark vision, and if you don't have a source of light, your perception is at disadvantage. Now, you each manage to see, even if it's quite hard to see, manage to follow the tracks that lead into an open field. You follow them, and soon enough, your feet arrive on a harder surface. Ice. And in front of you is a great sheet of ice, as if a great lake had been frozen. You're muted.
Crossing that would be a pain in the ass.
Ox taps the ice with the back of her heel, trying to see just real quick on how thick that ice is.
It is firm as rock. This thing, yes, this thing wouldn't shatter under any weight.
It's been frozen for a few years. It's solid.
We should carry on before we lose the trail.
It's gonna be hard to track a trail on solid ice, but I agree.
So you continue, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Please make me another survival check to see if you would manage to follow these track, and this time please take them at
18.
disadvantage.
Oh,
Disadvantage?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
18. I rolled set 26 as the other one.
Well.
I don't even think with the little thing I can do, that's gonna be a good. That's a 6.
23.
Take
Donnie
some
needs to leave. Be gone.
Narrator? Right? Okay. You'll have to tell me how exactly.
Nerida is just fine. Like,
Merida.
yeah.
Nerida. Okay. So Nerida, you've been accustomed to hunting over the entire plain of Icewindale. You know this. It's hard to see, but within the natural crack of the ice, you manage to see these claws that's been digging at the ice. It certainly have slowed down because their pace, there's more of their paw and claw, but that's because of the natural terrain here. If you folks would like to advance towards it, you will have to make a small athletic check to see if you'd fall prone or not, as you do
Okay.
not have crampon at the moment.
Do we
Is
wish
that
to
all?
continue on?
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Alright.
13,
23.
22.
Not one.
Oh no. You know these lands, huh?
Yes, theoretically.
Darion and Axe, you see this newcomer, this Triton, who has helped you follow these tracks so far, quite well even. You see her take a few steps and she slips immediately. The wind pushes back, and it's almost near the way that on this ice being so thin, so smooth, that the wind is pushing her away almost.
Ox takes a few steps, grabs her by like the armpit, and pulls her up.
Thank you.
You got your footing?
I hope so.
Pats her on the shoulder. Continues forward.
Each of you would know also that during a snowstorm, it is quite easy to lose sight of one another. Being more than 20 feet away from an individual or a group can make you lost and lose direction. So please take that in mind.
And it was 30 feet we can only see, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
And within 20 feet, you may be able to lose sight of someone too, depending of the weather condition. Right now, it would certainly be the case.
Nerida's going to use produce flame and get a flame going in one of her hands.
Very well. And Darian, remind me if I remember correctly. You are also holding produce
A flame. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Very well. That's good.
All these
Both of you.
magic users.
It's quite fancy for you to see. Darian wielding fire as well as this newcomer, this Triton, which is somewhat almost odd to see. A Triton, a being of the sea, wielding fire in their hand. Something you might have not imagined, but nevertheless, her fire as well as that of Darian managed to lit a little bit more the way. And if you please, if you may, would you guys tell me your what's it called?
Marching
Your
order.
marching order. Thank you.
I think I'm the one tracking so far, so it makes sense if I was probably going first.
Absolutely.
So someone can catch me if I fall.
Makes sense.
Alright.
Me and Ox just help Nerida up, so I imagine Ox is probably close by.
Very well.
Sure,
That
I'll
is-
take her.
We're hunting down your birds.
Yeah, a little
My
gratitude.
bird. Fine. I rolled better on the
Yeah.
athletics. No.
Wow. Rude. Rude.
In that case, you folks are marching. And for the sake of convenience, I will ask for you guys to roll me 3 set of athletic checks, just to see, at disadvantage, just to see how much you fare within the ice.
3 at disadvantage. Oh shoot.
Yeah. Just to gauge how much time it will take you.
14, 13, and I am going to. One moment. I am going to add a number on a d6 to the check using one of her racial feats.
Very well.
One moment.
A racial feat?
Yes. Look.
Oh, yes.
I can
Yes,
give you
yes.
the screenshot if you want.
17, 10,
No,
and 12.
No, you said a D4 or D6, right?
Yeah, d6.
Yeah, okay. I remember you.
12, 11, and 5.
17, 10, and 12.
So we're gonna do 14, 14, 13, and 11 for Ox.
Very well. I will just wait for Michael to come back.
Bye bye, baby. Goodbye, little baby.
If it
It's
wasn't disadvantage, it would be really good rolls.
Yeah, right?
Could you remind me of your role, Che? It was
Me?
Me?
Che first. Yeah.
Mine was 14, 13, and 11.
So you pass. For you, Meg. Or well, Nedari.
Nerida. Yeah, you got it.
Narida.
Nerida. 12, 11, and 5. Yes, that was perfect.
Oh, so Narida?
Like Nerida is how it is in
Nerida?
Spanish, and like how my characters can pronounce it, but Nerida is probably the more like American way of saying it. So Nerida.
Well, you need Narida.
That works good.
Narida. I
Perfect.
need to put the French accent is easier on it.
They're kind of similar sometimes.
Narida.
Nerida. Yeah.
Narida. Yeah, it's literal. I just say it in French.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay, so you said sorry. So you said a 5 at the end, and
Yes.
did you add something below 10?
12, 11, 5.
Okay, so you okay. That's good. Michael, your roll total.
17, 10, and 12.
17, 10, 12.
Wait, hold on. Yeah,
When you have an 8,
17. And 8, what do you mean?
on my screen it shows that you have 6 roll and.
Yeah,
there's a
I don't
note.
know why the 8's there.
What
I
were those
clicked
at disadvantage?
Yeah, that's why I rolled so many times they were at disadvantage.
Okay.
I rolled twice, I didn't right-click disadvantage, because I didn't know if it was going to do that thing it did with advantage and do a total.
Gotcha. So, nothing below a 10, right?
So I probably just clicked an extra.
No problem.
How do you do the solo rolls, by the way? Because I always roll accidentally with advantage or disadvantage.
There is. I can configure it on your page actually.
No, you don't have to. I just was wondering as to how do you do it? If there was like a specific way.
There's a really simple way. I'll just advantage toggle and push for toggle.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Yes. So, you guys, surprisingly enough, managed to walk on the ice carefully, surely. Narita, you stumble a few times, well, once at least. But for the rest of the group, you manage to advance quite safely and fast, actually. Enough for you to reach back and traverse the sheet of ice. You have, although, traveled for more than an hour outside of Lonelywood. This is quite the dangerous territory, and you see that these tracks are continuing. But, luckily for you, the storm seemed to be appeased for a moment. And far into the distance, you see, into the night, the shape of those cat, far into the distance. They're still quite a good walk away, but you see them. They're resting atop a hill.
Does it seem like they're dead? Like there would be more of them potentially nearby?
Make me a nature check.
$15?
That's good. You understand that it might not be exactly their den per se, but definitely their territory.
We should be wary. There might be more. What is the plan?
I mean, you hit a big enough one hard enough, and the rest sometimes back off.
That is not a plan.
The plan's get the bird and get the fuck out. If the bird's dead, then I'm gonna be taking out a cat or two. Try to make sure they don't come back from my barn.
They do not usually take from live things they scavenge.
Well, tell that to the little kitten up there that broke through my reinforced barn and went straight for not even the youngest of my flock.
Well, let us not waste any time then.
Focus on the big one. If we take that one out, my accent's changing. If we take that one out, it'll make this fight a lot easier. I do not think that they have spotted us yet, so we should be alright.
Are we gonna make an effort not to be seen?
I do not know if that will be possible.
I find it unlikely for myself, but worth a shot.
So I'll go ahead and try to give a stealth check, but I'm mostly trying to get up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, each of you would like to make a self check. Like this.
There's a 6.
What the fuck?
14.
The
Alright.
tallest of us all.
Where the fuck did Ox go?
The stealth barbarian.
Axe, you're unseen. You're one with the snow. You've never been more at ease as now with the element around you. Narita, you're somewhat the same. Not as expertly, but you manage to traverse slowly at a decent pace. As for you, Darian, you're lucky enough to be somewhat far still, as to not make too much sound, as every step you make seems to always be from those, that ice that seem to have been covered in water and it's like cracky icy, and you make steps that just are it is unbearable. Luckily enough, you're not seen yet. It would require a single more check for you to reach them. Another stealth, unless you decide otherwise.
How far are we?
About 60 feet right now.
Okay.
With this check, you would reach about 20 feet to them.
$19.
Stealth barbarian.
Stealth barbarian.
Michael, don't tell me you rolled a fucking 1.
Michael.
I rolled a 5 for a 6 again. Same exact. He crunches in the boot, stops for a minute, listens, and watches how Axe is doing it. Right. Continues to crunch in them.
Ay, Dios mío.
Axe and Narita, you two manage to avoid yourself being seen as you plunge into the snow. As those two crack cat just see and stare at Darian lone standing in the snow.
Ooh.
Darian, I would like for you to make me an insight check right now.
Just holding very still with his hand on his. And yeah, insight. 13.
You look at the larger of those crack cat, the one with a very specific pattern on it. It stares at you almost humanly. You recognize consciousness within those eyes. And it is hungry for meat. It will approach you at a decent pace.
Is it running? Fucking run. Is it
What
one
about-
or are there multiple coming down the hill at this pace?
I would say that the main one is starting to run at you, while the other one still is holding on to the fresh bird. What are the other two doing as they see the larger of the crack cat charging at Darian?
Prepare an action.
Oh god. Thinking. The bird's still alive for now.
Make a perception check.
Oh!
14. Oh, didn't mean to click that.
It seemed like it's still kicking.
Okay.
Axe is going to try to make her way over to this cat and grab it by the scruff of its neck. And
Okay.
go, drop it.
To the one up on the. God damn!
No.
Because we're only 20 feet away, right?
You two, yeah. Darian, you are fucking 6 feet away from it.
Yeah, as this other cat's probably already passed them by now
Yeah.
and still coming at me.
Yeah, the
And-
Kargat is about 25 feet next to you,
Would I
as you are there.
prepare an action for this thing charging at me?
Absolutely, yes.
He's gonna pull up the staff and seems to just motion it on one side, glides in front of him, then motions on the other a little bit like a dance, and then as this thing comes within range, I want to kick up with it, and that'll be a burning hands action upon it arriving.
Okay. In that case, we'll do that in order. Narita, what are you trying to do right now? I know you looked for the bird, if it was still alive.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would want to do before we chain those action?
Yes. Can I use Cure Wounds on it? This says any creature you touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Nerda's gonna go over and kind of hum a little shh, it's okay, and touch it and give it,
Before you do, making sure the crackhead still has it in his mouth. I will just say that.
Heal.
yeah, that's okay. She's still gonna go for it.
Okay.
Wait, because your X has it grappled, right? Or no?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're training it together.
Oh.
So right now the series of event is I'm just making sure everyone has their checked. Has their check on or not on, but know what their action is, and then we'll roll to see how it happened.
Okay, then. Then yeah, okay. Nerida's gonna then instead use her sling and shoot at the cat that's got the bird.
Well, we just used Darian as bait for the big one.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about people.
I'll be fine.
Fair.
I'll be
Okay.
fine.
You're-
It's fine.
We're saving your bird that we came after.
Exactly. Alright.
Certainly are.
Myself. It's fine.
7, 8, 9. What-
So yeah, sorry. In that case, Axe, please roll me as you're trying to grapple it, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Make me an athletic check, please.
13, and you know what? I'm gonna use the last of my +6s. So
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 16.
I need my dice. I need my Icewindale dice.
I need my dice.
My little Icewindale dice. They're
Yo!
Icewindale
Oh,
color.
they're so cute.
May the Kadani luck possess you on these dice.
Amen to that.
How much did you say you had? Oh, fuck.
16.
I just. Sorry, I just clicked and a fucking random app spam caught me. Let's see. I should probably. Ooh. You said 16?
Mhm.
Jeez, you're fucking lucky. It rolled a 15.
Ah!
So, you managed to do it. You, with a firm grip, managed to hold on onto that crack cat fur, that neck, and you seize it with hard strength. You have it grappled for the moment, and you can move it a little bit if you wish.
Alright. And is it still holding on to the bird?
Right now, yes. Although, general rule of grapple, if a creature that grapples another one is forced to move, this one is no longer grapple, basically.
Oh.
So if she moves it, it's gonna drop the bird?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna grab it and drag it away from the bird. Bad cat.
Magnificent. You see, Narita, you see as this stoic woman simply handle that creature, that cat, into her hand, pushing it away at least 10 feet from the bird. You would have a window to heal the bird if you wish.
Okay, I'm gonna go do that then. I'm gonna go and be like, it's okay, shh. And it takes 1d8 plus my spellcast. Shh, it's okay, I know what I'm doing. Maybe. There we go. Takes 12 healing. I got perfect
Fucking
roll.
hell.
Yeah.
Sheesh. You see the bird who had been starting to get rather wounded. You see a chunk of flesh that has been taken out of it already. Its feather doesn't heal back, but you manage to mend back the wound, healing it, giving back its strength that it has. It's still bleeding a little bit, but it certainly has helped a lot. And the bird is capable of placing back on its feet, afraid, but visibly looking to run away.
Um,
And oh, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Darian, this crack cat is charging at you.
Yeah.
It's large. It's about 9 feet
He's a
tall.
big boy. Yeah.
It's absolutely large.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm gonna do? Do they have? How would I handle that? Oh, whoa.
Was that looking at its health?
No. You said burning hand, right? Which is an AOE, correct?
It's a 15-foot cone.
Yes. Okay, so its feature doesn't work, which is wild.
It's the cat or mine?
No, there's a feature. I'm not gonna reveal it, but yes,
Oh.
there's something I was like, oh wow, that's funny. Fucked up. I'm gonna say, roll me damage. I'm gonna
It
roll.
gets a dex throw.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your DC?
15.
15, and it's a dex.
Yes.
15 dex. It just passed.
Oh, it passes?
Yeah, it rolled a 12 plus 3.
Damn. All right. It still takes half damage, so the flames erupt and this thing charges right through it as he gives that kick up with the staff, and just a cone of fire comes up, disintegrating or sizzling with the snow.
You
And
see
roll.
as this cat, for a moment, you see nothing but flame, this cone of you just send it towards the creature, and through it, you see time almost slow as you see its fang bursting out of the flame, just raging at you. It took some of the damage, but it's not even close to it. And with it, it will make an attack roll on you,
Okay.
trying to shove you. Does a, I will fucking assume it will. Does a 20.
Is it making an attack or is it a shove contest?
Um,
Because don't you contest with a shove?
yes, actually, yes. Sorry. Yes,
you're
it
good.
will be that. It will be that.
Okay.
So it will be athletic. So it will be athletic. He rolled a 22.
Fucking hell. Okay. 14. Just braces. Shit.
You've been charged at with axe beak before. These things don't play around. They're large, they're heavy. This is like 10 of them. You are sent flying over 25 feet away. And you're prone. And you see, as you look upon that cat, how much of a smile it has on its face. A grin, almost playing with you.
You're a spiteful motherfucker.
Oh, you would know.
Oh, shit. No. Did he say that?
What?
The cat just talked?
Indeed. Make me a perception check. As you
All
are
of
about
those two?
20 feet. Yeah, only those two. Jesus fucking Christ, Axe.
Hey, this a lot.
Axe, what are you playing? Huh? The fuck are you playing? It ain't barbarian, it's a rogue, it's a druid, it's a fucking.
Axe, you're the only one who. Fuck it, sorry. Let me just drink water before. Actually, the only one who hears the voice of this crag cat. This sundering of nature almost. Its peak with a viciousness that you've rarely seen ever. And I was gonna say Tenji. Darian, what do you do as you're prone in this crack cat?
He made his
Is
comment. He felt kind of confident. Sorry, were you going on besides what he said?
what did you say again? Oh well, you said
I called him
what-
spiteful motherfucker.
right, exactly. But what's your answer to after what the crack cat ended?
After it fucking talks,
Yes.
he's just
What do you
shocked
do?
for a moment. He was pushing himself up from getting prone and was all cocky with his comment, and then it responded, and he was like,
What?
What's
The
wrong?
hell did you just say?
Did the cat cut your tongue?
finishes standing up.
I can't say I've met too many animals with a smart mouth back at me.
Well, I guess I'll just be the last two. As it
You can
begin
sure
to
damn try.
as it begin to charge at you, and I would like for once again Axe and Narita. Make me a perception check real fast.
I hate you.
Sees all! Axe sees all!
22.
I didn't hear you. You're muted.
22.
no, no.
God damn, man.
As you each are still as Axe you're holding onto that cat, you can feel how it loosened up, like it ceased fighting, if you wish. Well, Narita, you've attuned with nature. You know when there is a certain disturbance in its balance. And right now, there has been a shift of a weight you've never felt before. You are afraid before anyone else notice. And as the wind has ceased for a moment, it hurled itself at each of you. It is of a force unlike any other. It passed for a brief moment, the snow is lifted from the ground, and everything around you is unseen, covered in the white of the cold. When you each open your eyes, you see two things. Darian, the first thing you see, that crack cat in front of you, the one that was about to maw its fangs at you, is frozen in a sheet of ice. It is as if turned into a statue. And you know that sight. You know exactly what could have done this. And it's not long before you see it from the corner of your eyes as this great owl-shaped creature stand in the distance. The sound of a rock flying over your head. A rock being this great, white, gargantuan bird. more than 50 feet wide that eclipse the very star above you.
Level fucking 1!
Next to each of you, you recognize this owl being, great in size, with a blue robe, with ice protruding from its talon. As you see Oriel having finished casting a spell. And that is where we'll end off.
No!
We're level 1 and we're seeing gods.
I regret listening to you, Mike. Screw you.
I thought it was gonna be a cat! Thought it was gonna be a fucking cat!
I warned you!
Fuck!
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, I know what the first fucking piece of art for this campaign is gonna be. Jesus Christ,
Oh
I'm
my
working on it
god.
now.
Please,
Yes.
please.
Which one? There's a couple pieces there.
And so, we leave from Icewindale, where the night is always so young.